Hi, Jason Knott, editor of CE Pro, and today I am talking about security with Chris Lynch, manager of builder services at Nortek Control. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me. All right, let's jump right into it. When we have this dichotomy of the traditional security integrator and the smart home integrator, sometimes they meld together, and many times they meld together, but they come from different places in many instances. What can they learn from each other, especially related to their business models and related to the security market?
Well, obviously with the Nortek Control, we've got, brands that address kind of both categories, right? With ELAN and 2GIG. And within builder services, we actually have two separate programs. One, the ELAN new home program, and the other, the 2GIG new home program. Again, kind of addressing, for builders that want ELAN in their homes, and for dealers that sell and install, and the same for 2GIG. And our objective is identical between the two programs as a manufacturer. Our objective is to get builders to commit to a technology standard, whether that be ELAN or 2GIG. Again, that's the same for us in both programs. However, the program goals and benefits, especially for the dealers, do differ greatly between the two programs. In the ELAN new home program, the motivation, obviously, for our dealers is to sell and install as much ELAN as possible, because that's how they make their money off margin and labor. So traditionally, an ELAN dealer would, have a relationship with the builder. If their product wasn't standard, they would have to A, convince the home buyer they even need technology, B, convince them on what that platform is. If they get through those two hurdles, then they can kind of talk about, hey, what do we want to add to the system? So again, with ELAN, if we can convince a builder to commit to that technology standard, now when they meet with the home buyer, they know they're getting technology, they know what the platform is, and now we can kind of sit down and talk about what's important to you as a home buyer. Is it safety and security, peace of mind, music and entertainment, and those kind of things? And with 2GIG, our dealers, most of those dealers the motivations are different. They need to meet with every single home buyer because they want to, get that RMR, get that monitored security. And so, we sort of built the program kind of around that. However, on the security side, what we're seeing is, one of the things that we do to kind of differentiate and allow home buyers to really kind of personalize technology in their homes is we've created personalization packages that go with that standard. So maybe that standard package is a 2GIG edge panel, a couple light switches, video doorbell, and maybe a smart thermostat. What we do is create personalization packages to kind of complement that. And so now the home buyer can sit down with their integrator and say, you know what, I want the music everywhere package, which is maybe a pair of speakers and a Sonos amp, or movie time, or surveil it, or water warden, or Wi-Fi everywhere. Again, making it very lifestyle oriented, but easy for the home buyer to understand and add to the system. And our dealers, especially on the security side, going into it, wanting that RMR, are really seeing the value in adding additional product and increasing the total basket. And then on the ELAN side, it's funny because, again, obviously, being Nortek Control, our ELAN dealers are very, very well aware of 2GIG as well. And especially now that our builder services, I think we're about 5 years old now. And as we go talk to them, we're starting to see their interest, whereas maybe they worked with predominantly semi-custom luxury builders. Some of them are starting to adjust those business models and figuring out how to scale to handle production builder business, because they do see the value in that RMR as well. So we're kind of seeing it both ways.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic, seeing that, that custom integrator learning the value of RMR, and I think that security integrator seeing the value of selling more gear up front. And so where does the builder fit into this picture when there's two different business models and they've got the security guy and the smart home guy talking to them?
So even there, I'd probably rather take a step back. I think just when it comes to technology in general with builders, I think as an industry, when I say industry, us as manufacturers, have really kind of done a disservice to builders in regards to what is the builder's role when it comes to technology. I think the service we've done is really got them to focus on the shiny objects. telling them that a smart home is a video doorbell, an Amazon Alexa, a couple light switches, and whatever. And that isn't their role. Their role is to build the house, right? It's to, build the floors, the roof, the walls, and inside the walls, that infrastructure. And it's funny when I meet with builders, a lot of times, just jokingly, I'll ask them, hey, so, if I bought one of your houses, is it okay for me to, to kind of go in and plan the HVAC, layout and the infrastructure? And of course they laugh. No, Chris, you can't do that. That's our job. And I'll say, well, what about electrical? Can I do that? And, they go, well, we do have homeowners that would like to, but no, that's still our role. And then obviously, I can't do plumbing either. I get it. So why is it okay for technology? Why is it that you as a builder take ownership of these categories, these important infrastructures, but then when it comes to home theater, go talk to Audio Video Concepts. They'll take care of you. And so what we try to stress with builders is forget about the shiny objects right now and focus on what your role is, and that's infrastructure. So obviously the natural next question is, what is a technology infrastructure? And that's where we, I think we really come in and now start to do a service, a good service to our builders by helping them understand what that technology infrastructure is. And it's pretty simple. It's, to us, it's three primary elements. We're moving rapidly towards a wireless world, but we probably still want wires to some key locations in the house. Not as many as we did 10 to 15 years ago, but it's still important. But again, as I just mentioned, we're moving towards a wireless world. So a builder should put in that robust Wi-Fi coverage throughout the house. And then the third element is that future-ready hub, not future-proof, but future-ready, something that should be in the house maybe 8 to 10 years at least, that ties these wired and wireless devices together, gets them talking to each other, and can be controlled under one app. If the builder does that, they've really done their job. Now, obviously, from a sales and marketing standpoint, it might be a good idea to offer some smart devices attached to that infrastructure with the house, but really their role is the infrastructure. And that's really what we've been doing the past couple of years, working with our builders to get them to understand that and wrap their heads around it. Because when you talk infrastructure to a builder, that's where they start nodding their head. And you understand that that's their role and they get that.
Do you see any sort of evolution taking place where we see more technology amenities being added as standard, or is it really, as you said, really dependent on the demographic for the home?
I absolutely do see sort of that evolution, and it's kind of funny, as since I've been in the industry a while. You step back 10 or 15 years ago, I would meet with a builder, and it was all about entertainment, right? I wanted to pre-wire for speakers, get that multi-room audio in there, and now, at least over the past few years, as we work with builders, kind of peace of mind is sort of what they look to, right? I want to be able to see who's coming to the front door. Stop crimes before they happen. And again, know who's coming in and out of the house and onto the property. But what we're moving rapidly towards is health and wellness. Not just my personal health and wellness, but health and wellness of the house. So, like with Newton Brown, having a wonderful, air quality filtration system that can be controlled by automation platforms, and again, just knowing what's happening in my house and then being able to make those kind of changes. I live in Southern California, so when we have those fire events, if the air quality is poor, the system knows to automatically start, circulating the air and changing that out.
So you mentioned the 2 gig panel, and 2 gig obviously came out recently, earlier this year, with this Edge panel, which is very unique because it's not maintaining a lot of the data in the cloud, but on the edge. And I know cybersecurity can sometimes be a dicey conversation where for a builder, especially, because he doesn't want to bring up the security elements too strongly, because it might be, well, why is this a neighborhood where there could be vulnerable to some sort of crime? But how can integrators approach, not just say end users, but also builders, and have a conversation about cybersecurity protection and how important it is?
Yeah, I mean, whether it's our industry or not, cybersecurity is something we deal with, every American deals with every single day. And then obviously, when it comes to our industry, there's been some high profile issues or events, right? And, I think was it Verkada, where gosh, over 100,000 systems were hacked, and kind of hacking the network through the camera. That's a big vulnerability, and that again created a lot of press. Another one was I think somebody from a large security firm, one of their employees hacked into about 200 systems, and now he's sitting in jail. So as we design the Edge product, privacy and security were kind of at the foremost of our thinking. And it's looking right at the panel in general, the secure boot up, over the air signed updates, and facial recognition, obviously. Facial recognition, that's biometric data. All of that biometric data is stored on the panel. It doesn't go out into the cloud. So if you want to delete somebody from your system, no problem. You delete it and it's gone forever. And then when you extend outside of the panel, making sure that our sensors, all of those are encrypted. And the Edge panel is not just a security panel, right? It can also control my Z-Wave smart home devices. So making sure we have S2 encryption, for those as well. And then even beyond, just some of the practical cybersecurity issues, I think there's practical advantages to the 2 gig Edge panel alone. Just the fact that with cloud solutions to make actions happen, it's kind of network dependent, and you have to with the speed of your network could dictate how quickly an event will happen once it goes up to the cloud and comes back down. Where if everything's stored on the panel, you reduce that latency and events happen more quickly. Plus, again, with cloud solutions, you're tied to that platform. If that platform goes away, you're sitting there with a useless product. Where here, if that platform goes away, I still have a fully functioning product. So even beyond cybersecurity, there's advantages to the Edge and having everything on there contained.
All right, lots of great advice there, Chris, for integrators, especially as they're moving to bring that security solution to their customers, working with builders, and being that go-to cybersecurity expert. So thanks for joining CE Pro today, Chris.
Great, thank you, Jason.